Hi friends, here is a nice problem. We are given three quadratic equations here. X square plus px plus q equal to 0. Alpha, beta are roots of this equation. X square minus rx plus s. Alpha power 4, beta power 4 are roots of this equation. Obviously pq and rs are related because alpha, beta and alpha power 4 and beta power 4 are related. Now, what about this equation? What we can say about this equation? X square minus 4qx plus 2q square minus r. Okay, we have some relation between p and q, sorry, pq and rs. Right, now what we can say about this equation? Okay, so let us try to understand all the three equations once. Alpha plus beta, alpha plus beta is sum of the roots of this equation, so should be equal to minus b. Right, sum of the roots is minus b by a. A is 1 and b is p here. And product of the roots alpha beta should be equal to q. Similarly, alpha power 4 plus beta power 4 should be equal to minus b by a, that is minus of minus r, which should be r. And similarly, alpha power 4 and beta power 4 should be equal to s. Okay, so far so good. Now we are concerned about this equation, right? We are concerned about this equation. Here, sum of the roots is minus 4q and product of the roots is 2q square minus r. Now what we can say about those two roots, whether they are real, whether they are of the same sign, whether they are positive, they are negative, etc., etc. That is what we have to see. Okay. Firstly, for these roots to be real, roots of this equation to be real, we need to have b square minus 4ac should be greater than or equal to 0. So what does that mean? Minus 4q whole square minus 4 times 2q square minus r. B square a is anyway 1. 4 times 2q square minus r. What about this? Is it positive or negative? Let's see. Minus 4q whole square. This is 16q square. Minus 4 times 2 8q square plus minus into minus, which is plus 4r, which is nothing but 8q square plus 4r. 8 is positive, q square should be positive because it's a perfect square. 4 is positive, and what is r? R is sum of perfect squares. Alpha power 4 should be positive, whatever alpha is. Beta power 4 also should be positive. Alpha power 4 for plus beta power 4, that also should be positive. That means r is positive, so r is also positive. Okay, so this is positive, this is positive, this is positive, this is positive. So overall, this one, b square minus 4ac, is a positive one. What does that mean? If this is greater than 0, that means roots are real roots. There are roots. Basically, the graph is touching x-axis, somewhere like this. Because a is 1 and coefficient of x square, a is greater than 0, is a is positive. That means the graph is facing upwards. We don't know whether y-axis is here, that and all. Let's see. Okay, so we just know that there are two real roots for this equation because b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. Now let us look at this part, 2q square minus r. This is product of the roots, right? 2q square minus r, whether is it positive or is it negative. If it is positive, then both roots can be real. If it is positive, the product of the roots is positive, then both roots can be positive or both can be negative together. And on the other hand, if this is negative, then one has to be positive, other has to be negative. Let us try and see what exactly happens to this. What is q? Q is alpha beta. 2q square means 2 alpha square beta square minus r. What is r? Alpha power 4 plus beta power 4. Okay. So this we can write it as, we'll take minus common, alpha power 4 plus beta power 4 minus of 2 alpha square beta square. Right, we are taking this minus common because this is 2 alpha square beta square. Minus into minus will become plus. We are rewriting this in this form. What is this? This is in the form of a square plus b square minus 2ab. What does that mean? Alpha square minus beta square. This entire thing, you can rewrite this whole square. Minus of this minus is already there. What does that mean? This is a perfect square, alpha square minus beta square, whatever alpha or beta is. Alpha square minus beta square, it can be positive or negative, but overall, the square of this will always be positive. That means this is a negative number. What does that mean? The product of the roots of this equation is negative. What does that mean? One root is positive, one root is negative. That means y-axis is somewhere here. Okay. So one of the roots is positive. It can be the graph can be like this, or the graph can be like this, anything. Okay. One root is positive, another root is negative. The product, because the product of the roots is negative. We did very simple thing. Firstly, b square minus 4ac is greater than or equal to is greater than 0 or not. Firstly, whether there are roots or not. There are real roots or not. Yes, there are. Because b square minus 4ac is actually greater than 0. Then product of the roots is it positive or negative? It is negative. Negative means one of the roots has to be positive, another root has to be negative. Right, right, guys. Very simple problem. Just that it looks little ugly. Too many variables, too much alpha, beta, alpha power 4, beta power 4, p, q, r, s, whatever. But in reality, this is a very simple problem. Right, guys? Hope you like this. Thank you.